You told me more than once to show you my intention. My brain gets blocked at times, but now somehow I'll give you my attention. You've got to know that I ain't a person who understands all the clockwork of our romance. You make me feel so alive, always there in my mind. But I just don't know if I'll dance with the...
Hi ladies, welcome to another video where we are doing more summer decluttering. This is something I have decided to do during the months of summer to help me with home management for the upcoming school year. So as you can see, we are starting in my office closet. Last week I did declutter a little cabinet I have in my office, and today I'm tackling the closet. As you can see, it got a little just disorganized. So about, I want to say a year ago, I can't remember how long ago, I did a huge decluttering project in my office. That closet was probably one of the areas that was the hardest to declutter for me. I think I almost reached my breaking point when I was decluttering at the first time, because it had just so many like hidden things that once I took everything out of it, it felt extremely overwhelming. So right now I don't have that much to declutter. This is the second time going through the office closet. It's just I noticed things have gotten a little disorganized, and I don't know if you are the same way, but when I have an organized space, it's very easy for me to, put things away where they belong, because, it's just easier that way, because then it looks neater. But once I fall behind in that habit and it starts to, getting cluttered, it is so easy to just keep on shoving things in there. So that's exactly what happened. So that's where we are starting. And as you can see, this is kind of, art keepsakes, what I'm gonna call them. So a few weeks ago, my kids went through all the paperwork they brought from last year from school. So this pile doesn't have to be, sorted out. This is all the things they have decided to keep. So what I am just doing right now is putting them together, so I can put them down in the basement in one of the bins, so they can keep it there for years to come. I have not had a very good system with how to keep them, so probably one of the next videos you're gonna see what I have decided to do, because right now I had boxes upon boxes of stuff, and I'm trying to organize it better without spending awful lot of money on organizing it into with Cricut machines and all of that. Just kind of something simple so I can just keep it organized. So that's something that I'm gonna be tackling in one of the next videos, but for now I just wanted to actually put the papers together, have a cover paper on it of what grade and what child it is from, and then I put it down in the basement. And when I get to organizing all of the paperwork from the past few years, you're gonna see kind of my idea of how I wanna keep it organized. But if you are already doing something that that is working for you, as far as organizing like old school paperwork, arts, all of that you're keeping for your kids, definitely let me know down below.
Funny how the story goes, little hope but bigger dreams. They try to bring a sucker down, singing louder than the crowd.
And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Marta. I am a full-time working mom, and on this channel I have videos about just basically home management. So you're gonna see everything from decluttering, because over the past 2 years I went through a huge decluttering process in my house. Now I am just probably for this closet, for example, it's the second time I'm going through my stuff, but some areas, you know, I now am going on a regular basis every few months just to make sure that the clutter doesn't, you know, sneak back up on me. But there is not that much things to declutter anymore, but I am now more about maintenance, organizing, so you're gonna see plenty of that, keeping the house clean and tidy, and also any types of routines. So all of that is definitely something you can find on my channel. And the reason why I look so weird with my hand is because one of the nail polishes did leak, so I got it all over my hand. So I had to get rid of that one, and I got rid of a few colors that I just keep because it came with, those are like gel nail polishes. It comes in a kit, and that kit had some colors that I just never use, so I have been keeping them, and right now as I was going through it, I decided it's ridiculous to keep something you are never using, even though it looks great. It was like, you know, some of the colors were like gray or a shade of blue, and I like it on other people, I just don't like it on myself, so I decided to finally get rid of it. So as you can see, my office closet has a bunch of random things, like for example the nail polishes. Probably a better place for them would be to be in my bathroom. However, my bathrooms do not have enough space. So since this is just mine, I am, you know, my approach to decluttering and organizing is functionality. So put it in a place that functions the best for me and for my family. So in this case, even though logically and for a lot of people it probably, you know, your office would make most sense for like things like nail polish, it's just not gonna be functional for me because then I'm not gonna have enough space for the things that I actually use in the bathroom a lot. So that's kind of how I'm approaching that. That was another thing right here that I am getting rid of. It was like those, I think they're called like washi tapes for planners. I used it for a while, and it has been probably a year at this point since I used them. So again, something I used at a time, and it was not clutter at that time, but the moment I stopped using it and have not gone back to using it, now it's clutter. So it needs to be moved out of my space. So as I said before, I am just kind of going through all the things. Now that I had this huge decluttering of my office closet a while ago, I can now kind of start thinking about how to organize things better. And that's another thing that I have learned is, you know, when I started decluttering, I needed to just declutter, not think about pretty containers, organizers, just straight up getting rid of stuff. And then see how the space functions and what organizational tools I may or may not need. So it's still not something that you know, if you see other YouTube videos, that's very eye-pleasing, you know, Pinterest, kind of something you would see on Pinterest. It's just, you know, I'm going for something that's functional, especially in a closet. So I might change my style at some point and have more desire to have things look better. But I am definitely all for functionality, using the thousands of containers I already have, because, you know, when I was trying to declutter before, I was concentrating on organizing, so I bought a bunch of different containers, bins, I mean, you name it, I had it. So now I'm using all that stuff up that I have, and hopefully in a few months I'll be able to actually declutter some of the containers I have left over.
Every change has a reason, baby, let it come to you. Every soul, every season lives outside of status quo. If we stop believing we're meant to be, expanding our abilities. If the passion's gone, we are doing it wrong. Baby, you and I should start living now with the whole.
And if you have noticed, I am kind of putting things back and forth on different shelves. That is literally how I function, how I organize. I have to try to fit in similar items in one, you know, in one area. so it's easier for me to kind of find things. But oftentimes, you know, for me to actually figure out where everything belongs, I will kind of put it on one shelf and then switch it up, depending what kind of things I'm dealing with. So let me know if you are the same way, if kind of when you are trying to organize, if that's kind of, you know, trial and error for you to try to figure out what's gonna look good, what's gonna function best in the space you are decluttering and organizing. This bin has a random bunch of stuff. That's what we're gonna call it. When I bought my standing desk, my previous desk had some shelving on it, so I had plenty of space to store my binders for work. You know, all the cables, all of that stuff was kind of, you know, in a bin or on a shelf within my desk. When I got my standing desk, this desk has no storage whatsoever. So I put stuff in this bin and put it in a closet because I was not sure what to do with this. For a while, I was debating if I needed to buy another shelving unit for my office, but instead of doing what I would typically do in the past, going to the store and buying something to organize with, I decided to give it some time. First, go through my things and declutter and see if I actually need something. And I am so glad I did that because, as you see, everything fits in my closet. I know I don't need to buy anything additional besides maybe like a little like a decorative shelf. I have like just a couple of things I would like to display because my walls in my office are basically bare besides like some file folders, but nothing to like store things. Everything fits within my closet and that organizing shelving unit that I have, that I was organizing in a week ago. I don't need anything else. So that's I'm glad that that habit is sticking to, again, declutter first, organize later, and also give it some time before you purchase something to see if you actually need it, because that was another big problem area for me in the past. So let me know if you can relate at all. But this is the finished product. Everything is put away into separate containers. Everything has a spot where, you know, where I know where everything belongs. There is still some things I'm trying to figure out the best way to organize. The shelf you see right now, that's my husband, so I'm not touching that one. But there I have like my binder with recipes that is lying there, and I don't know if I can find a better spot for it. But overall, huge difference, even though I didn't have that much to really declutter, I thought. But as you can see, there was quite a bit of things I am getting rid of. So I did not expect that. So that's definitely a huge bonus. It's kind of like when you're moving, you know, you don't realize how much stuff you have until you start packing. So this is another space we're gonna be decluttering, and that is my kids' playroom. And it's so funny to me to even say that we're gonna be decluttering that, because I feel like we have been decluttering a little bit every few weeks. But because the new school year is coming, that's what I wanted to go through all their toys and see if there is anything we can declutter.
You were my best friend, didn't care about the rules, good on the weekends. I'll be in fools, drifting to deep space. So brave and so stupid, just like the movies. I was gonna stay in the fight with you, just thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you, you and me so clueless. We were just broken, shattered, singing along to nothing matters. Stray around like nighttime rumors.
And I want to address something that's very funny that happened when I was decluttering kids' room. I did not actually plan on decluttering. I just wanted to organize that area, go through some of the boxes. There were two that previously, when I was going through some toys, I decided to keep. for when some of my friends or my siblings come with smaller kids, so my nieces and nephews can play with those. And I decided to get rid of one of them, so I just wanted to see what they have. So the plan was really to go through that area and see if I can get something out. However, the next day, which is right now, I decided to just dive in and organize some of the crayons my daughter had, because I got this container, I got rid of it from my office closet, and I said it's a perfect one to put your crayons in, because she bought herself those giant bags of crayons. She didn't want to take it out of the little paper organizers, but the big one that the little ones were in was just, the drawer was not closing. So that's how it started. And the other thing I wanted to do is put my son's like rock collections into this organizer, just so he has it in one spot instead of a few different boxes. So that's how it started. And then we just naturally started looking through other things as I was looking for those boxes with rocks, for the crayons. And I will tell you, it was so funny because there was a lot of things that the previous day from the same two areas. I mean, we're talking about the previous day, where my kids, I would ask them, is this something you play with? And they were like, no, keep it. The next day I asked them the same questions, and for a lot of the things, they were like, no, actually, no, I don't actually gonna do anything with it. You can get rid of it. So it was amazing to me that one day can make such a difference. And I don't know if it was just because the previous day we were just maybe tired. It was just not a good day for decluttering mentally. And the next day they were like all over it. So we got rid of quite a bit of stuff, and because they were, I guess in that mental state on that day, we just decided to just go through all of the stuff that they had. So this took much longer. It was unexpected. I did not plan on it, but I'm so glad I did, because now it definitely feels like we are ready for the new school year. Because I don't know about you, but once school starts and all the after school activities and my work, it just gets to be a lot. So a cleaner and organized space with less clutter is definitely something that's helping us just stay focused on what needs to be done.
You started a fire somewhere deep in my mind. See the barbed wire, the place is grown all wide. 'Cause I don't know if it'll be enough, or if they really care. There's a stairway down for the both of us, but let's not go there. You got me thinking, whoa, I don't know how we got here. Oh my.
And I also wanted to ask you, how are your kids with different crafts and art projects, things that you buy in a store that they kind of like a jewelry making kit, or we had some, as you can see, the one I'm putting in, you can dig for different rocks. So I have few of them they already got rid of because they were there and nobody was using them. But I have found that I have to probably be more intentional with pulling them out when they tell me they are bored or if they're looking for an activity. Because if they just keep them in the box and wait for them to remember that they have something like that, it just doesn't get done. And then, they don't want to get rid of it because now they remember they have it and they want to do it, but then I put it in the box and they forget about it. So I don't know if you're struggling with that as well, but I know that for me, I have, after going through it a few times, I realized I have to be more intentional and perhaps pull out an activity for them as an option to do on the days when I know they don't have many activities, when it's a day when perhaps they already are watching too much on their tablets or TV and are looking for something else to do. So let me know if that is happening at your household as well.
I think we better run. We ought to leave this place tonight. I'm telling you. Pack up your suitcase. We'll find a new place. 'cause I don't know if it'll be enough, or if there's a way out, there's a stairway down.
And it was the same in the playroom as in the office. I was moving things around, trying to put similar things together, making sure that none of the drawers were like too full, that there was, you know, some space in it. So that's why you kind of see me going back and forth, making sure that things fit, that the things that they play a lot with are easy to take out. So that's why originally I had those rocks in a big drawer, but I know my daughter uses paint a lot, so she's taking it in and out, and it would be hard to do when all those containers are kind of like squished together. So that was, again, all that functionality, what functions best for me, and in this case for my kids. And I also wanted to ask you, how is your back to school preparation? Are you done with shopping for school supplies? Let me know where you are. This is just a glimpse of what we are getting rid of. A bunch of boxes and just a lot of like old toys. But for me, as far as prepping for school, I think at this point, I'm missing one item for my school supplies. And for some reason, it's like the loose papers. I think it's called like leaf papers, and they need to be wide rolled. And for some reason, none of the stores around me have it. On Amazon, they have them, but not the one that I need. And the one that I need is for like a ridiculous price. So I don't know what's happening, but thankfully I am that's the only item that I am missing. I do like to be ready with school supplies in July. As soon as literally they put it out, I usually shop at Target. I try to go and get them. And that is only because one time I got burned when I waited until I think a week before school. And it was so hard for me to find things. Either the store didn't have them, or just their display was just, everything was mixed, because so many people went through it and so many kids and all of that. So that was a few years ago, and after that I am like the first one there. That way, if there is something that I am missing, I have plenty of time to find it in another store. So happy to say I'm almost done with the back to school shopping, and this is also why I'm trying to get things organized in the house, because it's not just the school supplies, but also getting your house ready for, you know, all the extra activities and the busy season. If that is for you, you know exactly what I mean. School season is just hectic. So I'm trying to make our house less cluttered and more organized. So again, that physical clutter causes mental clutter, and when we have mental clutter, it's hard to concentrate and focus on, for my kids for schoolwork, for me at my work. So that is the whole point of those decluttering sessions. I have never done it like that during summertime, but I am loving it so far. So hopefully we can repeat that again next year.
Every change has a reason. Baby, let it come to you. Every soul, every season lives outside of status quo. If we stop believing we're meant to be, expanding our abilities. If the passion's gone, we are doing it wrong. Baby, you and I should start living now. With the whole world at our feet, we could stay or we could leave.
And the last thing that you saw me do is reorganizing just a little bit by that Barbie house. I brought in that big bin from my daughter's bedroom because she used to have toys in it in her bedroom. She no longer does. It was just standing there empty. So I brought it here just so she can throw things in it when she's done playing her Barbies. So she already has like 2 containers under the TV stand or in the TV stand. or she throws some stuff, but it still feel like it's still overflowing, and she's struggling with kind of putting things away because she knows the next day she'll just take the same things out. So I'm trying the bin and see if that works, so it's not, the clutter is not as visible. But that is all I have for you in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you some motivation for the summer declutter to really help you manage your home for the new school year. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.